Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section. So, Mabinogi H-line skirt production. In this article, I will introduce the process of making a slim skirt, a type of skirt that is not commonly used in games. In the last post, the fact is that the Popo skirt is, that's covered in one of the other Eternity posts. We covered the process of combining key animation, physics, and retargeting to create a flowing skirt and hair. However, in Mabinogi, there are various costumes that are difficult to solve with this method alone. This time in particular, we'll talk about the process of expressing clothing such as the slim skirt that fits the legs perfectly. A short, slim skirt, usually above the knees, is often worn with skinning on the legs. What is skinning? It is a process of applying weights to the surface mesh of a 3D model so that it can move along with the bone that moves along the character. I think the stewardess costume would be the equivalent of the slim skirt example given above. You can see that there are no major problems even if you walk or sit down. So here you can see the stewardess costume. And there's the character like sitting. And there's the character moving. And you can see how like the skirt is moving with the character. So yeah, that looks really good. Among the slim skirts, the slim skirt that goes down to below the knees is not often used in character settings based on this book. An example would be the Eleanor New Look dress. I think the developers put a lot of thought into presenting as many different chairs as possible. It couldn't be helped. I created a skirt pattern using the method used in the Popo skirt is actually post, and then proceeded with skinning it. The skirt's natural form, which is attractive for its fitted feel on the legs, was not preserved, and instead it ended up looking too eerie, which was not what was intended. So here you can see what it looks like. This time I tried skinning the legs like I did for the stewardess costume. And here you can see what it looks like in this example. It kind of looks like the legs are kind of clipping through in the back maybe, I don't know. And maybe in like in the front, like kind of near the knees. When standing still, the fit is maintained, but when moving, the skin on the knees and thighs is exposed through the clothing. So yeah, I was right. So if you look at it, you can see like the skin coming through on the knees and like the back of their legs. It's like clipping through, that's bad. A sense of form, natural movement, unable to give up either one, I began to wonder if there was a way to express the advantages of both methods. Is there any way to maintain a fitted shape but prevent skin from poking through the knees and thighs? I installed an additional piece to assist with rotation according to the movement of the leg. Yeah, you don't want clipping through the actual skirt or clothing because that just doesn't look good. However, I was not able to get satisfactory results because the texture between the legs was excessively stretched. splitting the skirt mesh did not stop the map from growing. So you can see how like it's too stretched out, like right here. To compensate for the excessive stretching of the texture, I set up an additional bone that only follows 70% of the leg movement when the leg moves along a certain axis. But it's not easy, problems still occur. Like you can see in this, that still looks a little stretched out down here, it doesn't look good. Though it responded to the rotation of the body, it did not respond to the change in length, so the shape of the skirt became even more strange. There were more problems than I can list in the text. We added nodes that respond to changes in the length of the main body and control the length of the auxiliary body, and we did some additional work on some parts and tested them. So you can see like a picture here where like the skin of the knee and part of the leg is like coming through the skirt, and here it's not. In the test environment, it seems to have been somewhat resolved. So this looks a little bit better in this example. It's not perfect, but it's better. How would this be applied in the in-game environment? Here's another example. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Although it's not as perfect as in reality, you can see that the shape of the skirt is maintained and the texture is greatly improved in stretching areas. The part where the skin was poking out also disappeared completely. So yeah, it doesn't look perfect, but it is a massive improvement over the other results. Let's compare the images when skinning was done only on the legs without additional bone settings, and when skinning was done after the additional bone settings. So this is what it looked like before, this is what it looked like after. Before, after. Yeah, you can see that this looks a lot better. Looking at the before and after images, it seems to have improved a lot. Of course, due to the nature of the game, there may still be some imperfect parts. But moving away from expressions like steel hair or steel skirts, we are constantly working to ensure that you, the Militians, can enjoy the show as beautifully as possible. So yeah, I think they're working really hard on this. Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section of Mabinogi. So, high heel straps are not even. As you all know, there is a very strange phenomenon in Eren. It is a phenomenon where you are clearly wearing stockings, but when you change your shoes, they change into leggings. So here's the example. However, there are shoes that do not exhibit this strange phenomenon. So it only happens with like certain pairs of shoes, like with the bunny slippers, it's not happening, and then like with these shoes, it is. To explain this, let's take a quick detour and look at body structure of Militians. The body of Militian includes the feet. Because the basic foot shape was made flat, it was impossible to express a pointed toe like when wearing high heels. We have successfully implemented the method of hiding the base foot and attaching the high heels to the body. However, because the basic are artificially hidden, development proceeds with 2 problems. So 1, due to the absence of a basic foot, the shoe itself had to be designed to have a foot designed so that the instep is not visible. And 2, because the ankle connecting the leg and shoe was not smooth, the design of the ankle strap had to be included. Since the base foot was removed, it was impossible to wear high heels on bare feet. But this was solved by adding instep skin to the shoes. So that's how the strange phenomenon mentioned earlier occurred. What it looks like when you wear high heels that reveal the instep. From the development team's perspective, it was a bit awkward for the stockings to disappear when the instep was exposed. But in order to solve this, depending on the type of item, a new system had to be built to allow for separate shader code to be executed. When rendering the instep skin of the shoe, we also needed the ability to reference the foot texture on the outfit. It was impossible to solve these problems in Pleon Engine, which has a lot of legacy code woven into it. However, Eternity's Unreal Engine supports all the features mentioned above. Design constraints 1 and 2 have been removed. The screenshot below is the result of testing the Love Island decoration shoes by making them in the Eternity high heel modeling method. You can see that the stockings and shoes are worn together, but they are still connected at the ankle without any break. So when wearing Love Island decoration shoes with Love Island decoration wear and Street Magician outfit and stockings. So here you can see that the problem isn't happening anymore. The new high heels from Eternity will be more attractive and natural as shown in the example above. So yeah, it's nice they're fixing little outfit glitches like this. Should give a lot more fashion choices when we move to Eternity. Alright, let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section. So this one's walking into Unreal, Tara's construction. In the early stages of the move, we prioritized concerns like how can we implement the unique sensibility of Mabinogi in Unreal Engine. Just when we thought we could catch our breath after achieving small but meaningful results, we were immediately faced with the mission to rebuild a massive amount of buildings that had been produced over 20 years ago. Really, we got stuck in a swamp of production that seemed to have no end. The workload was overwhelming, but because each building had its own unique theme and identity, we had no choice but to personally create each one with great care. So here we can see some of the buildings in Dumbarton. There were buildings with elaborate patterns all over the city, and the problem was that there was really a lot of them. So modularize it. So that's how the modularization process started. Fortunately, Tara was a city with standardized designs, so it was possible to plan the separation and reorganization of buildings. Thanks to this, we were able to plan an efficient work process, and the background team was able to get one step closer to completing the reconstruction mission. What is modularization? Modularization is a game production method that divides various elements that make up a 3D environment into small reusable units or modules, and combines these into various configurations to create environments or structures. Each module has a basic structure, and by placing or combining several of them, it is possible to create complex backgrounds. For example, by combining several types of wall sets and columns and stairs to fill in the gaps, you can create several buildings of various sizes. So this shows you like an example of what you can combine and how it can like make a building. So that looks really good. So I tried to generate an example of modularization using AI. It's similar but not exact. So yeah, it looks good, but it's not exactly like it should be for Mabinogi. So first gather buildings with the same theme. Then figure out what can be used repeatedly for each building with that theme, and consider width, height, depth, design, features, etc. to plan how to divide them. Then start with a large classification and narrow it down to details. Then reverse assemble them to check if there are any things you missed during the division. It may look like it will be easy when you see the image, but since Mabinogi was not designed to be modular from the beginning, it is actually much more difficult than you might think. It seems complicated. Is there a reason for modularizing it to this extent? The first is efficiency. Since you can combine multiple modules to create various shapes, you can produce a variety of products while reducing repetitive work. You only need to work on one set of modules, and you can create multiple building combinations with it. The second is flexibility in design changes. Modification of one module automatically reflects everywhere that the module is used, so design changes can be applied in batches. In addition, the modular system is advantageous in applying various concept styles. For example, applying different concepts and colors to the same wall module can produce results with different moods. The third one helps with optimization. Many objects affect performance when rendered. Using modular backgrounds reduces redundant data and allows you to load and render some of them as needed, which helps optimize performance. You can improve performance by loading only modules needed in certain areas to minimize memory usage, and dynamically loading modules according to the camera's view. And the fourth is reusability. Modular parts can be reused in completely different environments, allowing content creation while maintaining a consistent identity. The same modular structure of windows, doors, and building walls used in Tara can be applied to other towns in the future. Even if it cannot be used in the towns currently produced due to the concept implementation issues, it can be used as a foundation for new content that will be updated in the future, allowing for smoother world building. So here you can see what like some of the buildings in Tara will look like in Unreal Engine. These are the Tara buildings that have actually been modularized. We are putting a lot of effort into making them efficient while maintaining quality. Can you imagine what the new Tara will look like? We are diligently continuing to accumulate architectural know-how so that we can simultaneously take advantage of the original identity of Mabinogi's background and the new environment called Unreal. In this way, Mabinogi's background is continuously being built and expanded with various attempts and considerations, so we ask for your interest and support. So yeah, this was a really good post. It's nice to see what some of these buildings will look like in Unreal Engine. So we'll be looking at another Korean Eternity post that came out on the Korean Eternity microsite. So this one's all about chairs and sitting. Suddenly the sitting position and posture change and the legs are buried in the chair. You can kind of see how like the feet are like buried in the chair there and how that doesn't look right. It's like clipping through. And then when you stand up, I stand in the buried chair. Your character like appears in the middle of it. So this is going to be about how to fix all that. Looking at the current state of Pleon Engine, there were issues with sitting down and standing movements. Suddenly the position changed and the awkward sight of the legs being buried in the chair was seen. So why does this happen? This is because each character has a different height and leg length, and size of the chair is also different. Development points for implementing natural sitting, so these are the things that they plan on adding to help your character sit better. Applying these 7 elements will result in much more natural movements. When you use the rest skill, you should be able to find a chair within a 5-meter radius and sit on it. When generating the navigation mesh, the area where the character can move, considering the character's maximum collision box size, there were cases where the chair was inaccessible. I explained the situation to the person in charge and adjusted the chair collision box to make the chair accessible. So there is a large height difference between a small character and a large character. So yeah, there is a height difference between like humans, giants, elves, and like whatever age that you have your character set at, because the age system is basically like a height adjuster for your characters. This diversity allows us to create data assets that can be customized by race and age. So prepare to sit down. When sitting, the direction you look should be towards the chair, that is, the opposite direction you approached the chair. Even if you move to the sitting position using the route finder, there may be a slight error, so this position error is also corrected through interpolation. This process takes about 0.2 seconds to process naturally. And sit down. While playing the sitting motion, slowly adjust the position of your hips to the sitting position of the chair. In the Pleon engine, there was a phenomenon of bouncing when adjusting the height before sitting down, but this was improved by adding additional processing to move to the target position through interpolation during the animation. For the same reason as the starting sitting position, small characters are set to sit in front of the chair, and large characters are set to sit inside the chair. This can also be adjusted by race and age in data asset. So we can see that example down here. You can see a small human character, and you can see that when she's sitting on the chair, she's sitting more towards the front of the chair. And we have a taller giant character, and when they sit down, like they're further back on the chair, it looks like. So you can see how this already looks a lot better than it currently does in our current version of Mabinogi. Although those plants are kind of clipping through the bench. But this is just a test, so I'm sure they'll iron that out. And this was posted by Chair King, so cool avatar. But yeah, this is all about like chairs and like sitting and how all those physics work. So there are finally some new posts on the Korean Eternity section, and we're going to be taking a look at some of them. So we're going to start with this one. I think Mabinogi is a game that requires you to check a lot of things on the screen often. There are many reasons for this. The inventory is unique and the number of skills is just too numerous. However, before focusing on the UI on the screen, I focus on the most basic screen. This has been a frequent topic among relatively new players in the development lab. So I compared it to recent games and considered how I could make Mabinogi's screen more pleasant. So this is all about like field of view and how we can make the screen for Mabinogi better. So here you can see 3 different images of the field of view. So right here they're zoomed in to the back of their character. And then here they're zoomed out a little bit more and you can see a little bit more behind them and in front of them. And then here they're like zoomed way out and you have a good view of Dumbarton. The field of view refers to the field of view on the game screen. This will likely be familiar to those who enjoy taking photos. So if the angle of view is low, the range visible on the screen is narrow. The higher the angle of view, the wider the range visible on the screen. To make it easier to understand, let's look at some in-game example images. So they do have some example images here, and also some example videos, but these videos are taking a long time to load, probably because I'm a North American player and this is on the Korean website. But I have 2 of them loaded up, we'll take a look at those. So here's the first video, and you can see that they're zoomed into the front of their character. And you can see a lot of Dumbarton from here, so a few things have been moved around. You'll notice that the staircase to the town office is a little different, and there's a big staircase going directly up to the magic school now. And also the mailbox is over here instead of over here. So a few small changes to make Dumbarton feel better. But overall it still looks the same. Let's take a look at this. So here you can see them zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. Gives you kind of an example of what it's going to be like and how smooth it is. And for the next video, they're actually going to run down this street of Dumbarton. So this is what it looks like when a new player is entering Dumbarton in Unreal Engine. So yeah, all these videos here are pretty much the same. If you look at the images and videos, you will be able to feel the difference between narrow and wide angles at a glance. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Currently, the live-action version of Mabinogi features a 45-degree field of view. Considering the average monitor size when Mabinogi was first developed, this isn't a particularly unusual figure. However, the problem is that over 20 years have passed. The monitor sizes used by militians have also increased, and the amount of content on systems in-game has significantly increased, resulting in a massive increase in what you can see on the screen. So yeah, that's definitely true. I play Mabinogi with a 24.5-inch monitor because that's what works best for me, but Mabinogi sometimes has trouble on like really big monitors. You'll have to mess with the settings a lot to get it to work right. So first, this narrow field of view needed to be broadened to fit the modern game. However, it'd be problematic if the difference from the screen you're accustomed to while playing was so great that it felt out of place. So yeah, this is pretty tricky. You do have to make like little adjustments like this to make Mabinogi more modern. So yeah, there are these two videos here as well, and I would play them if they weren't loading so slowly, but you can come to the Korean Eternity section and load up these videos, or try and download them. It might take a little while, but you can see them that way. I've tried setting different minimum and maximum angles to ensure a natural change when zooming in and out with the mouse scroll. A closer look reveals that objects in the distance move slightly differently when zoomed in and zoomed out. As I adjusted the angle of view like this, I realized there were more things to consider than simply fixing it to one number. So this is actually a room in Albi Dungeon in Chernanog. There's also some posts about how they're redoing the boss room and a couple other rooms in Chernanog completely. I need both a distant view and a closer view for a clearer view of the character, and these two perspectives had to be properly differentiated. At the same time, I had to be careful not to accidentally switch perspectives. If you accidentally scroll in the middle of a hunt and get pulled into a character, you'll be in big trouble. Yeah, that would be bad. And here we can actually get a cool view of Chernanog. I actually downloaded this video, which you can do by clicking right here and selecting download. So we don't need to wait for that one to load up. Let's pull that up next. Okay, so here's the video of Chernanog, which actually looks pretty cool. So you can see the fence here, you can see the torches. I like how the fire is blue instead of orange. Like, that looks really cool. It would be awesome to have like a Halloween event here. Like, this looks really good. And here they're zooming in a bit. And here they're zooming out a lot, so you can see how some of the fence here is destroyed. And it looks like there's a wolf or maybe a warg like right out here. So this is just like off to the side of the bank. So yeah, this post has a lot of information about the field of view in Mabinogi and how they're going to make it work with like bigger monitors and stuff. So this is definitely worth checking out. You can come to the Korean Eternity site using Chrome, and it'll translate all this, so you can read it more or less. Alright, time to play some Mabinogi today. So we'll start with the event quest right away. We're gonna get that done. Where's my handicraft kit? I'm gonna need that. There we go. Tree decoration. And we're done with that one. Let's go see that shop. I have 140 coins. Which really isn't enough to afford anything. Like after tomorrow, after I do the daily tomorrow, I'll be able to actually get something. So let's switch back to Arsenal Gunner. And I think I can finally rebirth. Yeah, let's do that. Gotta reset my level. And that was enough to push Arsenal Gunner to level 42. What do I have for Baltane crystals? I have a 2 times Baltane crystal, that's probably enough. Let's try and get a Nowhere to Run pass, and then we're gonna push for level 200, so I can level up the Arcana as much as possible. Random items. And a pass for Nowhere to Run. Oh, this is actually like a piece of gear. Interesting. Destroy all that. I don't really have a good XP potion. Let's take a look at the dungeon voucher shop. Probably can't afford an XP pot, but we'll take a look. I might as well get my daily dungeon while I'm here. I have the most in the second shop, I think. Yeah, and even here I don't really have enough. Guess I have a bunch of unclaimed stuff here. Okay, now it's finally getting smaller.
다음 분.
Okay, well, point is it's a lot of crap. Guess I should have checked in with that more often. None of those would happen to be a rebirth potion or forgetful potion, would they? Probably not. Oh wait, we do have a couple of forgetful potions. Nice. So I should have been checking in with that, but I haven't been. That's the first time I've even bothered talking to Evan about claiming rewards from dungeons. Okay, let's magnet all that together. Well, in that case, we can probably max out... Arsenal Gunner today. Like, just realistically. Alright. Because we have 3 forgetful potions here. Well, actually, we can only use one of these a day, though. So that's kind of the... Okay, maybe I can't max it out today. Because I forgot about that limitation where you can only use one of those a day. We'll still get pretty far, at least. What does this give? Bunch of pets. I don't need more pets. Jeez. I have enough as it is. How long do these last, anyway? A month? Okay, that's good.
다음 분 접수하세요.
That means I can also work on leveling up Forbidden Alchemist soon, too. I'm gonna do that after I finish getting Arsenal Gunner to 50.
뭐야 이 편지는? 불쾌해.
Oh, an unlimited... Whoa, a bunch of unlimited veteran foamer passes, alright. Those expire in a week? I guess I'll be doing a lot of veteran dungeons.
뭐야 이 편지는?
Wow.
불쾌해.
I'll have to get those used up fast. Let's toss some crap. I don't need that. I don't need... I don't need that. I don't need that. No, that's useless.
다음 분.
Squirrel plushie bag support? I don't even think I have a squirrel bag. Not on this character anyway.
모험가 조합은 이쪽이에요.
Okay, what about in here?
이 편지는
Jeez,
제법
more
잘 썼네.
unlimited veteran foamer
Plus.
passes? Okay, I'm really gonna be doing veteran runs within the next week or so.
좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어.
I don't care about that mangled pass crap. Okay, let's destroy all that.
이래야지.
Where's the thing for veteran dungeons? Oh, let's see what the dungeon list shows. So does it show me like the rewards or?
이 편지는 제법 잘 썼네. B+.
Geez, this guide is still incomplete. Doesn't look like they put a lot of thought into it when they added this new guide. Half-assed piece of junk.
또 러브레터네?
So where'd all those other forgetful potions go off to? Let's just magnet them. Add like a bunch right over in here.
좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어.
Oh, here we go.
모험가 조합은 이쪽이에요.
Let's go ahead and get another nowhere to run past, because we're gonna run it twice now. Wait, so does Evan explain the clear rewards, or is that like a thing for just like clearing each one for the first time? Let's see Evan's note. Okay, it's just basic information about crap.
다음 분. 뭐야 이 편지는? 불쾌해.
That was my phone. That was just like a potential spam call.
뭐야 이 편지는? 불쾌해.
Okay, let's toss all of those, and that, and that.
뭐야 이 편지는? 불쾌해. 이래야지.
Avon crystals. These people even use these anymore? I haven't had an Avon crystal in probably over a year.
다음 분 접수하세요. 또
Oh, we can
러브레터네.
move that bag in a little bit more, actually. Like right like that. Don't know why it was sticking out like that. Yeah, it fits much better.
또 러브레터네. 다음 분 접수하세요.
And if I'm gonna do that Baltane mission twice, then I'm going to need a Baltane crystal. Like, I have a 2x Baltane crystal that I'll use, but only a 3x1 for the other run.
다음 분 접수하세요.
So let's put these over here. I'll use this one first. Oh wait, how many vouchers do I have now? Because I also got some dungeon vouchers for claiming those rewards. Okay, yeah, now I can get one of these. That's great. I think one should be enough for 2 runs. It won't take us the full half hour of that mission to get to level 200. And that's all we'll get for right now. Alright, before I jump into leveling up a whole bunch, we're gonna do some homestead work. Because I really need to do that. Put that back over there. And harvest these. Let's go take care of a daily and cob real quick, then I can get 2 homestead stone. And then that'll push me up to 3, and then we can plant one more thing. Done. LB dungeon, okay. There, that's better. And just to be sure, we are an arsenal gunner, right? Perfect, because that's the one I want to level up. Nowhere to run on Elite. And that's level 200. So we'll have to get up to level 60 again after we use that Forgetful Potion. So I'm probably going to do some bounty hunting so I can get some Homestead Stone to level up to 60. And then we'll come back here and then get to level 200 again. So yeah, I'll definitely get to level 44, maybe 45. Alright, let's get out of here. And I need Homestead Stones, so we are going to do some bounty hunting for a little bit to level up. So we'll go with this. And let's repair all my stuff too. Let's go to Quilla. Did I finish collecting all my points on Zippy, or do we still have one to go on him? One more. That's what I thought. All those speed potions at. Okay. We're gonna go after Zippy. And let's also use one of those and this. No homestead pass. Let's try the South Mew Desert one next. I want shadow missions out here. I want to see what the city looked like before it became a desert. This place must have been pretty cool when it was like a fully functioning city. No homestead pass yet. But they pick up that herb too? Cool. But I mean, if you look at the Muyu Desert, the city line kind of ends about here. So whatever this was a city. I mean, that's roughly about the same size as Tara, if not a little bit bigger. So when there was a city out here, it was as big as Tara, pretty much. That's why I'm curious, like, what was out here. I would love, like, some kind of shadow mission that explains the past of this place. And the Dragon Bone Tomb is so cool. Like, the other dragons are small compared to the dragon here. That dragon would make such a cool raid boss. Okay, there's the Homestead Pass. Get that gold too. No Zippy, but that's okay. I'm more here to level up and get his Homestead Stone. I think I'm only really gonna get levels up from actually completing the bounty hunt, though. These guys are pretty low level. There. And back to Quilla, and we'll start pursuing Zippy again. It looks like that's it out here. What can I give you? Give you some gems. Sure, that'll be most of the job. Let's go here next. Okay, back to the Dragon Bone Tomb. No pass this time. Oh, I guess I do have gem powder we can give her too. Forgot about that. Nice. Let's go to the Lutra River one. Still no homestead pass. They're really holding out this time. But there's only like 10-minute potions? Okay. Let's try... the nearest plateau. Nothing. Here we go. Here's something. Still no homestead pass though. Okay, let's go to this one. Anything out here? There we go, finally. We're not getting a whole lot of XP for it, but I don't really care because I really need the Homestead Stone. So it doesn't really matter that much to me. Use one of those gold ones. Nothing. Well, sometimes they appear at the very end here. But no, nothing out here this time. Like, there are other ways I could level up faster. Sure, but like... I really need the Homestead Stone anyway, so I'm willing to do this the slow way. No Homestead Pass. Plus, I still need to get one more point on Zippy, so... I mean, if we end up collecting his transformation, that's just a bonus. Nothing out here. Let's go to the Lutra River again. Here's something. No Homestead Pass, though. Nothing. Let's check out the spot. There it is. Oh, and there's still one alive. Level 42. How much homestead do we have now? Homestead stone? 6? Yeah, it's not nearly enough. Maybe I'll just start from here this time. Seems to be a pretty lucky spot. Hey, and there it is. Real quick, let's go ahead and use one of those. And then we go again. I'm gonna keep coming back to that mana tunnel. Oh, no pass this time. Luck finally ran out here. Let's try here next. Here we go. And again. Try here again. This is still a pretty lucky spot. No, looks like Sippy is done. No, wait, not yet. Almost. Nothing. Wow, they didn't drop anything at all. Let's go a little bit further. Okay, let's go to this one. No, this one next. No homestead pass. Let's try here next. Yeah, there's nothing out here. Try this spot out. Nothing. If they're playing hard to get, then maybe we'll run into Zippy pretty soon. Okay, let's go over to this one. Yeah, there's nothing out here. Let's try the Lutra River one again. Maybe I'll try the ones in Karu Forest if this doesn't work. There we go. Finally, we got the pass right away. These bandits out here are just good for gold. Be nice if there were veteran level bandits too, like. Like, what if on the bounty hunting board, what if they added some sort of pass that you could use to hunt down veteran bandits or veteran level outlaws? And then if you had like that kind of pass, then you could go to the bounty hunting board and then you click on a bandit. There'd be like a little checkbox, hunt them on veteran mode or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Turn up the bandit difficulty a little bit. Because even the outlaws themselves aren't really challenging, like Sippy's one of the easy ones. The bunny is tough, that one almost killed me once. And No Face Nelson can fight pretty good too, but most of them are weak. Use a silver pass this time. Yeah, no pass this time. Like, even master level bandits, they're just not really a challenge anymore. I think we're kind of getting to a point where we do need veteran level bandits for experienced players. Although I'm not sure how tough bandits are with bartering, because I don't really do that much. I don't think they have bandits that are stronger than master difficulty. Nothing. Okay, let's go check out the Lutra River. I'll check out Karu Forest after this, if this doesn't have anything. Okay, Karu Forest. Let's see if we have any luck here. I guess I need points on those push floors anyway, so good thing I came in here. But still no pass. Let's go here. Oh, I didn't even see where they were disguised in here. Their crappy disguises work pretty good in the forest. Nothing. Let's try over here. Still no homestead pass. They really don't want to give it to me. Okay, let's try over here next. Still no homestead pass. Try this one. There we go. Oh, on second thought, that's good enough for now. So, let's unequip that. What kind of shadow missions do we have? Something quick. Sulfur Spider. Let them fight. Crap, nothing good. I guess I'll do the Tailton one. Oh, okay, I know which one this is. Won't take too long. Okay, right over here. And last over here. done. Spirit gems. And now time for some homestead work. So at least all that bounty hunting paid off. Now we have like 20 homestead stone. I had 0 when I started. Ooh, we're almost ready to level up. Let's go ahead and plant a few more of these. How many of those strawberry seeds do I have too? Let's plant one of those. And really quick, I'll be right back, and then we will get ready to do Nowhere to Run again, so we can push to level 200. Okay, let's go back to Dumbarton. I also need to get my daily veteran dungeon thing today too, so we'll pick that up. And then I'll buy another XP pot from Evan. Berry dungeon. Okay. We can do that. Let's get one of those. Nice. Let's get one of those too. Okay, we're level 44, Arsenal Gunner. Oh, this tells us the bonuses we get from it. Nice.
좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어. 이 편지는 제법 잘 썼네. B+.
Alright, let's go. Use that, and then I need the sheep and the bunny. We've already used the crystal, so we'll do that. Alright, let's go in. Nowhere to run. On Elite. Okay, so level 200. We don't need to be here anymore. Let's gather up the gems and get out. Oh, there's an emerald over here. Okay, that's good enough. So I think we got to level 45. Very nice. And then we'll probably do the same thing on Thursday. I'm probably not going to play Mabinogi tomorrow, but I probably will Thursday, so we'll do that Beltane mission again that day as well. Okay, let's get ready for our veteran runs. But first, spirit weapon stuff. Level 80. Let's check those items real quick. Free rend. Himmel Compact. No, mine's still the cheapest one there. And Free Ren and Siri Compact. Looks like someone's matching my price now, but they aren't doing better than that. Let's go ahead and take the Siri one down. And then we're gonna list it again. And I'll make it 88 million. I'm not gonna drop the price that much on something this valuable. I will for some items I don't care about, but like this is kind of worth something. Welcome to the stream, Otaku. I'm about to do veteran runs. I'm loving Arsenal Gunner. It's definitely one of my favorite Arcanas so far. I have it at level 45 now, and I also have to work on the links. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So for veteran runs, we have... what was it, Berry Dungeon? Yeah. And we're also going to run Albi as well on veteran, because I have all these unlimited veteran filmer passes. And Albi is the normal daily dungeon.
다음 분.
I think I like Dark Diviner more for doing like commerce and like bounty hunting and that sort of thing. But like I like Arsenal Gunner more for like doing dungeon runs and stuff like that. Sum up those two. Now let's switch over here. Wait, if I'm holding dual guns, can I use a technique like, probably not. Probably need a close combat weapon for Stampede. Yeah, I switch back to having the coffee cup if I try and use that. I'll think of something to put there later.
빛을 따라 걸어 처음
Pull that open.
마주스런 두 개의 달 교환 문 앞에 단 한 번 열어본 적 없는 푸른 나무들 사이로
It doesn't quite reach that far.
답을 향하여 나서네 굳게 닫힌 문 너머 어디든 닿게 나도 오랜 소망을 그림자 항상한 나 영광의 과거도 안에 게 물든 땅에 짙게 패인 사랑 오랜 소망이 시계 아주 들꽃처럼 너른 이상을 꿈꾸기 모든 선택들을
And time for the boss. Well, bosses, there's like 5 of these guys. Yeah, 5. Let's do this. And Meteor. I think I can get all 3 of those in one shot. That's nice. Oh crap, I majorly missed, but we did still get 3 of them. And one more time. Nice. That one's dead. That one's running pretty low on health. Okay, that one's dead. Hey, you're still alive? There we go. "20 minutes and 48 seconds. Smoldering thread, a ruby, some spirit gems. Perfect. And those two. How much gold do I have? Let's go ahead and put what we have in the bank. And I'll buy my spirit weapon some gems. Okay, we have 12 points. It's gonna take 3, 5, and 7 to get that leveled up. Okay. Let's apply that. So at level 85 we can take that up again. And we had Albi Dungeon for the normal dungeon. So I'll use one of my unlimited veteran filmer passes to get in there. And after that Albi veteran run, we'll probably be done for the day. And time for the boss. Here, let's do this. Got him. Alright, meteor. Once. Twice. And 3 times. Oops. Use that. And one more meteor. Get closer. There we go, 17 minutes and 25 seconds. Spirit gem, smoldering thread, a gem. Perfect. Let's go ahead and put this back over here. At level 14 I can expand again. So one more level to go. Alright, well I feel like that's a pretty good stopping point for today. So we got the Arsenal Gunner up a few more levels. I think it was like level 41 or 42 when we started, so not too bad. So we will continue working on Mabinogi on Thursday, probably. I am probably still going to stream on Thursday, and I am going to stream a little bit tomorrow, just not as much, and I'm not going to play Mabinogi that day. Like, I'm going to stream some Contraband Police in the early afternoon tomorrow.